Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit. Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Trapped and frightened after falling into an open manhole, the defenders take us inside the amazing team effort to pull a dog to safety. Priya.
A year and a half into the pandemic, and the CDC says trick-or-treating is back with some safety recommendations. We'll break it down.
A move is afoot in Michigan to radically change how the state elects future presidents.
But we're going to start things off here at 6 with breaking news. An accident involving a Detroit fire truck and a house.
Tim Pamplin is on the city's east side with more. Tim.
Yeah, this is McClellan and Forest, guys, at Detroit's east side. Several fire trucks and several civilian vehicles here got tangled up. These were responding, these fire units were responding to a fire down on Jefferson when Squad 6 lost control here. If I look down there, there's actually some very large gouge marks in the road there. Hit that utility pole. Sent 3 people to the hospital. There's also a Mercedes-Benz that got caught up in all of this over there. But it's happening all within the last half hour or so. Again, 2 people transported, 1 firefighter, 1 civilian. We're going to stay on the scene, have much more coming up at 11. That's the scene on the east side. Back to you in the studio.
Tim, thank you. Well, today, the former chairman of the Democrat and Republican parties here in Michigan announced their support for a new ballot initiative that would change things in a big, big way.
Well, it sure would. This would make this a winner-take-all state when it comes to our electoral votes. Now, what does that mean exactly? Mara McDonald's in the newsroom with more. Mara, currently, when a candidate wins this state, all the electoral votes go to that person.
And the proposal that's being pushed would change that. It would make Michigan's 16 electoral votes go to the winner of the national popular vote, not necessarily who actually wins the state. Let me show you. The last presidential cycle saw Donald Trump and Joe Biden duking it out until the bitter end in this state. Michigan was up for grabs, and a week didn't go by without either the candidates themselves or their top allies rolling through here. But there have been plenty of years where this state was not in play, and all we saw from the campaigns, tumbleweeds.
You could be a battleground state on one day and the very next day not be a battleground state, and that has a similar effect to both Republicans and Democrats, depending on who's winning and losing. And what happens under this proposal is that would never have happened if we had a national popular vote. You could not afford to walk away from 10 million people in Michigan and have a 5%, 2%, even 1% drop in presidential election turnouts.
The pitch from the former chairs of both parties here is that campaigns would be forced to play here if Michigan adopted a winner-take-all electoral model. Now, to bring this to either a vote in this state legislature or a vote of the electorate will require the group to come up with more than 300,000 petition signatures.
This is a great example of federalism at work. This is being done on a state-by-state basis. We're not replacing or getting rid of the Electoral College, but we're doing, as Saul indicated, what the founders said, that the states should make these decisions.
This type of proposal has been kicked around in Lansing at the legislature for the last couple of years, but it never has really gotten anywhere. Let's see if this ballot prop changes anything. We're in the newsroom. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
All right, Mara, quite a debate, isn't it? Brewer and Anuzis, by the way, anticipate filing their ballot language on this tomorrow.
R&B singer R. Kelly has been convicted in a sex trafficking trial after decades of allegations about sexual misconduct with minors. Kelly has been found guilty of 1 count of racketeering and 8 counts of sex trafficking. He faces up to life in prison. Today's verdict comes after 9 hours of deliberation in Brooklyn. The jury was made up of 7 men and 5 women. His sentencing is set for May 4th.
Let's move to the coronavirus. The state continues to see rising numbers of outbreaks in schools.
The state reports 106 new schools are dealing with outbreaks. That's 8 more than last week. Meanwhile, Michigan reports 7,733 cases and 35 deaths over the last 3 days. It's an average of 2,578 cases per day.
President Biden receives a COVID-19 booster shot. Last week, of course, federal health officials approved Pfizer's booster dose for people aged 65 and older, 6 months after their last vaccine, their second vaccine. President Biden got his first 2 doses of Pfizer back in January.
Just a few days from October, and families are wondering what trick-or-treating might look like this Halloween after the big changes experts recommended last year. As Priya Mann reports, the CDC is giving more of a green light this year while recommending some common sense safety measures.
These are the masks we've had to get used to wearing, but these are the masks we couldn't wait to wear one night of the year. The CDC has given the green light to trick-or-treating with some caveats.
I think they're going to be excited, and I think people need to go shopping and get their candy ready.
The CDC recommends trick-or-treating outside in small groups and avoiding crowded indoor Halloween parties.
Getting back to these activities and doing these things for children is going to have a positive impact.
Beaumont pediatrician Dr. Hanan Al-Salani echoes the CDC's recommendations.
As a mother of 4 daughters myself, it was great to see that the recommendation was out there, and their mental health is really important at this time. So that's a great step in the right direction as long as it's done in a responsible and safe way.
Reaction to the CDC's recommendations is mixed.
Personally, if I had small children, I wouldn't feel comfortable for them going door to door. But if it's like an outside function where it's not still close packed, I would probably feel better.
And after being quarantined for so long and sending them back to school, there's just that little bit of risk we take, and that's just what it comes with, and we just deal with it day by day.
Last year, some families opted to put tables out on their lawns to give out candy. This year, there's a vaccine, but since young kids can't yet get vaccinated, trick-or-treaters going door to door and those handing out candy could consider wearing masks.
Even if they don't go all out and go to every house on the block, at least their kids can get a little sense of normalcy from going to just a couple homes, just to reiterate that we're going back to some normalcy and doing it with caution.
On Monday, Pfizer and BioNTech announced that smaller doses of their COVID-19 vaccine were safe in a clinical trial of kids aged 5 to 11. The FDA is now reviewing that data. I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
Priya. A former Detroit Firefighters Union treasurer is accused of stealing more than $200,000 from the union. 62-year-old Verdine Day charged with bank fraud and wire fraud. Federal prosecutors say she stole more than $220,000 by writing herself checks and using the union's credit cards on personal expenses, including flights and cruises. Day faces a maximum of 30 years in prison for the bank fraud charge, a maximum of 20 years for the wire fraud charge. She's been released from custody on $10,000 bond.
All right, well, it's days like today we'll want to remember about 4 months or so.
Try to remember that kind of September. Nice sleeping weather last night, but a warm, sunny day today, Andrew.
Kimberly, Devin, fortunately, we're recording this show and we're recording this weather, all right? Try to bring that back when the snow comes. But don't worry, no snow coming anytime soon. We've got nothing but sunshine still in these waning hours of this Monday. We've got 80 degrees still over at Metro Airport, still above 80 degrees over on the east side at City Airport. Upper 70s in Mount Clemens, also in Pontiac. Around 70 degrees, a bit cooler in the Thumb, and some of that cooler air is going to be over us tonight. But 80 degrees for now under mostly clear skies over at the airport with a wind out of the west. Now, we still have a flood warning that's up for the Huron River in southern Livingston County. So it's still above flood stage. Make sure you stay on higher ground in this portion of Livingston County. But the good news is it's already cresting. So it looks like it will continue to fall as we go through tonight, tomorrow, and the next few days. So eventually, within the next 24 to 48 hours, it's likely that flood warning may be gone. We're looking at warm to mild conditions as we go through this evening, and we're still looking at mostly clear skies, at least through midnight. But what happens afterward? We'll talk about how cool it gets tonight, how mild it will be for tomorrow, and of course, your 7-day forecast coming up. Remember, you can always track temperatures. You can track Storm Tracker 4 any time of day, any time of night with weather in the palm of your hand. This is perfect if you're on the go also. This is the Local Forecasters app. Make sure you download it now. Just search WDIV in your app store.
Okay, Andrew. A dog ends up trapped and frightened at the bottom of an open sewer hole in Detroit. The effort to bring the pup to safety was a true example of teamwork. Local 4 defender Sean Lay joins us live with the story. And Sean, thankfully, that dog's barks for help were pretty loud.
Absolutely. And you know, when you see something like this in the city or anywhere where you live, this is going to end up in bad news. You have an uncovered manhole here right now, just covered by some plywood put here by Detroit Fire. So far, that's not good enough. We're going to tell you what we're doing with the city to get this fixed. But then a dog ends up at the bottom there, and it took, you're right, someone walking their dog, listening for the bark. It took a great rescue and also Detroit firefighters to get here to get this dog out. Take a look.
Hi, baby.
Take a look down this open sewer hole on Detroit's east side. That young pup stuck right at the bottom.
Really scared? It's okay.
Those those barks catching the attention of another dog owner who was running her dog in this open field off of Grandy near Medbury. She called Juniper Fleming. Juniper runs the Rescue Rebel Dogs Detroit. One rescue volunteer brought a ladder and went down to try to grab the dog.
But that wasn't going to happen. He was so scared. He was so skittish, barking, growling, just very terrified.
The same volunteer with the ladder also had a rope and a tarp. He's a house painter. And Juniper knew the Detroit firefighters from Engine 23 Squad 3. They came right over and all came up with a plan.
They lowered it down and we threw wet food, and eventually the dog walked onto it, and then they lifted it up and hoisted him up the hole. Don't fall. Don't fall. I thought it was the only possible way that we were going to get him, because there was no carrying him out of there. There was no using any kind of catch pole, any normal way of securing a dog.
Hi, baby. Good job.
And that is one great save. And can you guess what Rebel Dogs Detroit named this sewer-dwelling pup? Now the dog's name is Turtle.
Yes, yeah, of course, yeah, for sure. Yeah, of course, yeah, Ninja Turtles, yeah. It's okay, you're fine now.
All right, back here live. Turtle right now receiving some critical veterinary care, so not yet ready to be fostered or go to a foster home. Guys, there's the manhole back there that we just showed you. Right around the corner here on the east side, right in the middle of the street, there's a sewer lid missing as well. Neighbors are saying that is a hazard big time as well. We're going to follow up with DWSD right away to see if we can get those covered. We're live tonight on the east side. Sean Lay, Local 4, back to you.
Let's hope they can help right away. Okay, Sean, thanks.
Tonight, a major announcement coming from Ford as the company announced it's going even bigger on electric vehicles. NBC's Tom Costello has a preview.
Good afternoon. We are at Ford's all-electric F-150 assembly line in Detroit. Today, Ford exclusively telling NBC News about the biggest investment in Ford's company history, a 21st century Model T moment as Ford bets big on electric vehicles. The great-grandson of Henry Ford, Bill Ford, the chairman of Ford, is now telling us why this is the moment the company is going to go green in a big way, and why the next vehicle you own could be an electric vehicle. The big story coming up tonight exclusively on NBC Nightly News.